Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tourism Tuesday as you are listening to the show today. We are pre-recording, actually, though, on a Tuesday, just a Tuesday a week ahead of when you are hearing this. It is Luray Page County's turn at the mic for Tourism Tuesday today. So that means Edie is on the Zoom screen with me, along with her guests, Candice and Wes Shifflett from Cruise Planners. And guys, I got to tell you, you mentioned something to me in our pre-show talk that I can't wait to talk about in a little bit because I am relocating. I am going to relocate to a resort somewhere and start doing this radio show from there. So thank you for coming to do the show today and bringing me good news. So before we get into the weeds too much, tell me a little bit about Cruise Planners. Who are you guys? What do you do?
We are a home-based franchise of Cruise Planners. We are based out of Shenandoah. And we've been open a little over 3 years, but it really started as a passion. I was working at a local hospital part-time and had so many friends and family come in asking me to help them plan their trips, which I was happy to do. Travel's always been something that was instilled to me, and grew up traveling, and so I was happy to help. And my husband came across this franchise opportunity, and we researched it, and Cruise Planners has a great reputation. They are an American Express travel representative. So if you're an American Express card holder, you get extra perks and benefits and points. And just their reputation was great. And we purchased the franchise, and 2 years ago I left a job at the hospital, and this has become my full-time focus.
So do you guys only do cruises, or do you do all types of vacations?
We can do anything, land-based cruises, just weekends away, anything travel-related pretty much.
All-inclusive resorts, pretty much any travel you would like to do that we can assist you with that travel.
And I think it's important too, especially now, and we're going to talk about the impact COVID has had on the travel industry, but I think it's important for people to understand, and I've learned this because I have friends that are in the travel industry. Don't try to do this stuff on your own. Don't try to get on a website and think you're going to get a great deal, because the deal on the surface might be really good, but you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. And that's one of the perks of hiring people like you to kind of make sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
Absolutely. And using us, we do not charge a fee. So you could, if you wanted to go online and book through a resort or a cruise line, you're going to pay the same or sometimes even less. Sometimes we can find extra perks for you or save you money. So it's really an advantage. You have somebody that's on your side that's going to make sure you have all your proper documents, that everything's taken care of for you. We are full service. So I can arrange your transfers if you want to do tours. We can completely package your vacation for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But then when things like COVID happen, I'm there to take care of it for you.
We had a client that is actually a very good friend of ours that was looking to book a trip to Aruba this past year. She found the trip to Aruba on one of the internet services, and we were able to do at least price matching. I can't remember what the exact price was, but we were able to do at least price matching so that she was getting the same trip for the same money. When COVID struck and the refunds started flowing and different things that happened, the company that she was going to book for, which was a popular company that lots of people booked through, went bankrupt. They went completely out of service, so she would have lost every bit of her money by dealing with that internet company that they thought was an actual good company to work with. So being that she was working with us, it allowed us to be able to assist her through, and she did not completely lose out on her trip monies.
Well, and we all think when we're planning a vacation that it's going to be this great thing from the minute we decide where we're going until we get there, we enjoy it, and then we come home. But the truth of the matter is real life is real life. And you miss a flight, or you get sick while you're away on vacation, or something happens at home and you have to come back. These random companies aren't going to help you coordinate that like you guys will with just a simple phone call that says, oh my gosh, we have an emergency. To me, that is worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right. And I give my clients my personal phone number so that when they're traveling, if there is an emergency, and we've had this happen before, somebody calls me at 2 or 3 in the morning. I had one last November. She called me we were still asleep, and the phone rang, and she said, my daughter's gone into preterm labor. I need to get home. And she made it home with about 15 minutes to spare to see her grandson's birth. So it's just one other thing that, we're there to help. I really, put myself out there for my clients, them having a great time, and a trip of a lifetime is my goal.
And our business is based upon our reputation. So and repeat customers, the reputation that we have and the way we take care of our customers is what allows us to continue to have customers to return. As Candice said, this is her full-time job. She is a full-time travel agent. So, it's not like she's doing this as a side gig or a part-time job. It is her full-time job.
We were talking in the pre-show a little bit about whether anybody's traveling right now because of COVID. And Candice, you've been a couple of places in the last several months and not had any issues at all. And you mentioned that in some of the places that you went to, you felt safer than you do here in the States.
That's correct. Went to Dominican Republic in July for 2 weeks or 10 days. And then Mexico last month in October, was there for almost 2 weeks. And there's more precautions in place. They're handing out hand sanitizer and checking temperatures, going into grocery stores, on the beach, in the restaurants. They make sure you have masks, and the resorts are really good about making sure you're wearing them as well. So I feel like it's safer. Airlines are making sure. I actually had someone sitting in front of me on one of the flights that the stewardess or flight attendant kept telling him, they finally said, if you don't put your mask on, if we have to tell you again, you will be banned from flying with this airline again, and we will cancel your return ticket. They are very cautious, which I appreciate. Another nice thing you could say about the resorts right now is they are at limited capacity. So they're not full. They're only allowing, and it depends on the country, but some are 30%, some are 60%. So you don't have any problems finding a chair at the beach or chair by the pool, room at the swim up pool bars. But service, one thing I have to say too is that they're so happy to see us. The service is not, they're with reduced capacity. They are working with less staff, but they're still, busting their tails to help you out, and just very happy to see everybody back.
So is one of the perks to what you guys do a requirement that you have to go to so many really cool places? I mean, do you guys ever have the conversation back and forth where, Candice, you're looking at Wes and saying, hey, we really need to go to Aruba because I don't feel like I could properly help somebody else go to Aruba unless I've gone. Do you guys have those conversations over the dinner table at night?
All the time. It's not a requirement, but in my opinion, I feel that I can help someone a lot better if I can say, I've been to that resort. And one of the things that you do is you qualify your client. You ask them, what are you looking for in a resort? What are you looking for in a cruise? What are the things you like to do? If you're one that likes the beach instead of a pool, I'm going to find you one that has a nicer beach. There's some countries that have beaches that aren't swimmable. There's some people that want to go out and adventure. So I'll know going to these places that this is one to send you that you're going to like better. One of my sayings is a good travel agent is a well-traveled agent. So I try to go as much as possible because it really does help not only myself, but my clients, I believe.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, can we talk a little bit about the resorts? I hinted at it at the top of the show about some of the extras that these resorts are doing because they are open and willing to bring in travelers from the U.S. And you were telling me some of the really cool perks that they've kind of added in for long-term visitors to come since we're doing hybrid learning and all these other things. So can we talk about that a little bit in the next segment?
Sounds great.
All right, Edie, are you still there?
I am. I'm wishing that I was on a beach in Aruba.
Yeah, says
nice.
the person who just got back from a beach vacation. That's probably why I'm ignoring, the upper left screen of my computer right now. But we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to continue our conversation for Tourism Tuesday, Luray Page County edition. Edie from Luray Page Chamber of Commerce is on the Zoom screen with me, along with Wes and Candice Shifflett from Cruise Planners. We're going to talk about resorts and return to sailing when we come back in the next segment. So hang in there.
Do you know anyone who is struggling with financial hardships because of coronavirus? Our new webinar called Coping with the Money Crunch can help. We'll talk about immediate options to consider, revising or creating a spending plan, and lots of community resources. Then we'll cover how to narrow your priorities, contact creditors, and avoid scams and risky loans. The webinar is free, and you can either join by phone or through Zoom on a smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can find out more by visiting the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program on Facebook or calling Karen Poff at 540-635-4549. Let me show you how to make your own plan or help someone you care about get through the crisis. Call 635-4549 or visit at NSV Financial Education on Facebook today.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday. As you are listening to the show today, we, however, have pre-recorded our conversation a Tuesday in advance on the Zoom screen with Edie from Luray Page Chamber of Commerce, along with her guests, Wes and Candice Shifflett from Cruise Planners. And Candice, we were talking in the first segment about some of the traveling that you've done and the fact that the resorts are open. And you were telling me that they're adding a couple of perks for people who may be hesitant to travel because their kids are doing hybrid learning or they're working from home. Tell me what they're doing.
With so much virtual learning and telework going on, there's several resorts that have offered packages to where, of course, Wi-Fi is included, but they're including some tutoring and other perks that would allow not only you to telework, but also your children to do their schoolwork from these resorts if you decide to stay with them long term.
And I am all about the long term. Edie and I were talking about maybe we should just transition the radio show. Candice mentioned, or we talked about Aruba earlier. I'm thinking Aruba would be a lovely place to record a radio show.
I'd agree with that.
And you guys can hook me up. You can get me all set up from the minute I decide I want to go until the minute it's time to come back.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So what happens, Wes, when I call you and tell you I don't want to come back? At what point does your responsibility stop and a real estate agent in Aruba starts?
Well, we have some contacts in some of the foreign countries that we have made while being there. So, we may even be able to help you find a real estate agent while you're there.
watch enough House Hunters International that I could probably pull a few of the names out of the hat. And to be honest, it was funny, Candice, you were talking earlier about getting to know your clients so that you kind of understand what they're looking for when they're going on a vacation. And that's kind of how I decide where I want to go and what I want to do, is watching shows like House Hunters International, because I'll see that and go, oh my gosh, that place is beautiful. I would love to go there. You probably get a lot of people that are like, well, I saw this TV show.
That or Pinterest and TikTok.
Has a big following for travel, and people will see videos and pictures and different information on places, so we get a lot of interaction from those types of things for business, because people want to see those things themselves.
So when do you think people will be able to get back on a cruise ship?
The CDC actually released last week. They went from a no sale order to a return to sale order. So it looks like it may be coming sooner rather than later for cruises out of the States. There are some other countries that have been sailing. Tahiti, some in Europe. There's smaller ships that have been sailing, of course, with a reduced capacity. And it looks like within the next little bit that'll be coming for us as well. I've seen some updates from cruise lines where they've canceled all their cruises through the end of the year out of the U.S. So I think they're still just trying to prove that cruising, they can do it safely. Of course, different health measures in place and reduced capacity. So they really just need to prove to the CDC that it can be done safely before they allow it fully.
And if I'm thinking that maybe I want to take a cruise in July or August of next year, is that available to me now? I mean, can I reach out to you guys and say, hey, I'm not necessarily looking to travel this year, but when this is all over, I'm going to need an escape. Can I book something now for next year or even the year after if I'm planning a wedding or something like that?
You sure can. And there are actually great incentives right now to book. Some are including free gratuities, the beverage packages. There's different options out there depending on which cruise line you go to. But the nice thing about booking in advance is that you can make payments. They will require a deposit up front, and then your final payment is due, short time before you sail. But you can make payments between your booking and when your final payment is. That's another nice thing about booking in advance.
Well, and it means you can then maybe afford that upgrade. Maybe you were going to do an interior cabin, but now you could do an exterior because you've got enough time that you can space those payments out and afford a nicer vacation than if you had to pay it all up front at one time.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And trips make great Christmas gifts. That's what our children get every year.
Are y'all adopting?
I'd rather have memories than stuff piled up in the house. So that's what our boys get.
Well, they are lucky. They are lucky kids, let me tell you. So the one thing, and I will tell you, I've never been on a cruise. It's just, I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on a reason why I've never taken one. My husband has been on cruises before, and I know in talking with other people, I would say things like, yeah, but there's just so many people. And the answer was always, you don't realize how many people are on a ship with you because the ship is so large. That's probably magnified now that they're even doing a reduced number of people. It probably is like being on your own private vacation, even when you're on a cruise ship.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes, some ships, they vary in sizes, but some of them are more than 3 football fields long and, 20 or more stories tall. So they're really floating cities. They'll have malls and, 12, 13 different restaurants and casinos and big theaters. So you really don't realize how large they are.
I'm going to date myself here and tell you that I assume it's changed from the days of the Love Boat, which is my only point of reference for cruises, where they had the fancy gown night that you had to go to dinner and they had all of the excursions and stuff like that. I'm sure some of it's the same, but I doubt it's exactly the same as it was in the 70s when the Love Boat was on TV.
Not exactly the same, but there are some lines that still have the formal nights where you can dress up as much up as you want to, or you can still stay in your resort casual clothes, and there's still all the excursions that you'd like and lots of activities.
So if somebody is listening today and they have questions, they're unsure or they're just not really comfortable yet and they want some professional advice, they want advice from experts who have done it and have been there, what is the best way for them to reach out to you to have that conversation?
Our website is destinationsunlimited.org. We also have a Facebook page, which is Cruise Planners Destinationsunlimited.org, and that would have our contact information as far as our phone number and email.
Before we wrap up, I have to give Edie a little bit of, I guess I gotta let, I'm gonna let Edie talk for a little while, even though
I've been waiting my turn.
So how was the beach?
It was very nice and very relaxing. Very windy.
I know. And I should be the bigger person and tell you how happy I am for you that you got away, but that's just not me. It's not who I am. So what did you come back to in Luray, Page County? What's going on there?
So we have our typical monthly events. We aren't doing any business after hours this month, but at the end of this month is the beginning of Shop Small. So we are gearing up for that, trying to get people, interested in shopping small, eating locally, trying to support these local businesses.
And I know you're doing a bunch of different things throughout the course of a couple of weeks with deals and cool stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so starting this Saturday after Thanksgiving is Shop Small Saturday. It's a tradition. American Express runs it every year, but this year to try to boost our local businesses, we actually are doing it as a month-long event. Businesses will have deals. Businesses will do different specials if they're restaurants, and each of the 3 towns will be doing certain events each weekend.
Well, and it's interesting. I saw a news story, and this kind of ties in with what Candice said earlier about giving travel as a gift. One of the things that I saw, I think the Today Show was doing a feature on the importance of shopping small. And even if you're not shopping in your particular community, so let's say, Edie, I wanted to get you something for Christmas, and you're in Page County, I can still shop small by reaching out to a Page County business and buying something for you who does live there. So don't think you can't shop small outside of your own community.
I like plants, just so you know. I always take plants for Christmas. But yeah, one of the cool things that we're doing this year is we always do prizes for Shop Small Saturday, or Small Business Saturday rather. And this year we actually are allowing people who did online shopping to participate, because a lot of people still don't feel comfortable going into stores, especially around the holidays. So we're trying to broaden it for who can participate for people who are doing it online.
Fantastic. And where can they get more information about all of the stuff that's happening? Is it on Facebook? Is it on the Chamber's website?
We have the Shop Small month-long event on our website at visitLurayPage.com, but we also have created a special Facebook page just dedicated to shopping small in Page County. It's called Shop Small in Page County. Or they can go to the Visit Luray Page Chamber of Commerce Facebook page.
Fantastic. And Wes, Candice, one more time, what is your web address and how can people find you on Facebook?
Destinationsunlimited.org, or on Facebook, we're at Cruise Planners Destinations Unlimited. And our phone number is 540-246-3766.
I am going to work on getting a real live background of Aruba instead of a fake background of Aruba. So you guys are going to have to help me out with that for all of my radio shows. I'm thinking in the month of December, I should just go spend December on an island somewhere, because hurricane season is over by December. So I should be cool and good to go all the way around.
The thing is, Aruba's below the hurricane belt. So really there's not a lot of hurricane issues in Aruba.
See, look at this. It's so nice having,
Stop it. She's going to move away.
We are going to wrap up our conversation today for Tourism Tuesday, Luray Page County edition. We have been chatting with Edie from the Luray Page Chamber of Commerce. On the Zoom screen with us has been Wes and Candice Shifflett. They are with Cruise Planners. Links to everything that we talked about, of course, will be up on the podcast page, so you can go find those there in the show notes. I will be back tomorrow. I'll have a brand new episode of The Valley Today ready to go for you. Meet me back here just a few minutes after noon.